Hello, it's another driver's debrief vlog for the 7th of March 2024. Had my last mock test today before my first real practical driving test, which will be on Monday. It went surprisingly good for the most part. However, I did get a serious and therefore fail it right up to the end. My serious was something that I've been having trouble with all along with roundabouts. The direction was go straight ahead at the roundabout, which was ahead second exit. I think we're on sat-nav. Apparently a few roundabouts before that I wasn't checking mirror left before exit, so I have to work on that. But this one I did check mirrors, but that wasn't the problem. I approached in the right lane for some reason and came on the roundabout to the island on the right, following the centre island ring. And then I realised my mistake. I was like, oh god, no, you're meant to do left lane approach for second exit straight ahead. And so that was my fail for the mock test, but everything else up to that point and after it was just like minors, like those not looking at left mirror just before the exit on the roundabouts. That was a couple of minors. Can't remember what the other minors were, to be honest. But yeah, we started in a weird place. He wanted to get me as close to the driving centre as possible this time without actually going in. So we were like two junctions across from the driving centre on this weird, like, tiny provincial housing estate that led to a bunch of single file, lots of different zigzag narrow roads with big hedges, country roads, and lots of vehicles approached us in those roads, and I had to try and slow down before they got to me. I think I managed okay, jumping down to second gear and first gear and kind of weaving in and out and stuff. He says if there's plenty of road on the side of you to go into, but there's gravel there, don't go there because people don't normally go there. So, I mean, it's useful to have all that room if there's like a big bay thing that's like part of the road to the left of you on these weird zigzag countryside bends, but you're meant to not go into the gravel. And he says the same when you're on like a roundabout. There's like an area around the circle of the roundabout which is like gravel, and it's hard to see, but it kind of outlines the left lane of the roundabout and how far you're meant to go left. I did most of the roundabouts okay. It was just that last one, I think. But yeah, we started in this weird zigzag country road, and then it took us through various roundabouts. There was some strange places I hadn't been inside Launceston town. Very tight, like zigzagging around steep hills and housing estates in first and second gear again. Lots of slow stuff that you had to approach with caution. We did Snake Bend, Tuning Fork. I did that easily. That was okay. He had no complaints on that one. We went to the place with a school. It begins with P. Oh, South Petherwin or Petherwin. That's where the sat-nav stopped. But we approached that from a different direction. We approached it from the Scarn Pennygillam roundabout. We also did a circuit of the Pennygillam trading estate. He was trying to catch me out with car tunnels, but there were no priority problems. We didn't actually have to tuck in for hardly anyone today at the car tunnels. Yeah, I can't remember. It was the city centre bit was odd. Apparently here's a minor. I approached a traffic light. None of the roads are painted with white lines. You're meant to assume there's two lanes approaching the traffic light, and apparently I didn't assume there's two lanes, and I was in both lanes, as in I was in the centre of the road, thinking, because there's no white paint on the road anywhere, that it's just a road going my direction for one line of cars, when actually when you approach the traffic light it unmerges into two lanes. It just doesn't have any paint to show you, which is annoying. You just have to guess and keep left on the approach to the traffic lights, and apparently I didn't. You have to do that with a lot of roundabout approaches too. There was a pheasant at one point, but that was on the drive to Launceston. It didn't really get in the middle of the road, it was just ambling around on the side. There was like a queue of traffic behind a guy on one of those bicycles, the mobility scooter 4-wheel chair machines that drive around. There was a queue of cars behind this guy, and he was just on the road as if he was a car, driving down it. So that was an odd one to avoid. Yeah, I think I did pretty well today. It felt a lot smoother. It felt like there were not many problems. It has, however, been a sunny, dry day, so the roads have been dry, so that's been pretty good. He did go through some more of the auxiliary controls with me. To put fog lights on, you have this little twisty knob further down than the tip of the knob for the headlights. And I hadn't noticed that before. Apparently it's a toggle, but it doesn't feel like one. It's like a twist up and down with a spring in it, so you twist up and it drops down by itself. And to put on headlights full beam, you pull the stick towards you like a flappy paddle thing, whereas to put it on dipped beam, you twist the knob all the way down. He went through a bunch of stuff, like show me, tell me questions that they would ask. He went through like all of those, and I think I did fairly well on them. I think he caught me out with one, which was like checking the brake fluid pressure or something like that. I don't know. Not oil pressure, coolant pressure, brake fluid pressure, it's something like that. And I can't remember what it was. I still can't remember what that was, so let's hope they don't use that one on me, because I'm not quite sure what that one was. That's the only one. ABS is just, there's a light on your dash that says ABS, comes on if it's not working. Yeah, he did the show me questions, which is like, can you show me how to use a horn, which means you actually use the horn. Can you show me how to wash the windows? Can you show me how to put on the demisters? All that stuff. We did one where it's like, can you open the window while driving and close it? And I thought for some reason it was going to be one of those windy things, because I forgot there are no buttons for it. So luckily I got the right button, and I hope I got the right button. I certainly got the button for my window. I might have accidentally also got the button for the passenger window, but I went all the way down and up by just pressing it, which is kind of useful when you realise how much concentration you need for driving. The key to all those show me questions is that what you're doing shouldn't detract from your steering and road position. So it's not just knowing where it is, it's like not being distracted from the road. I'm getting slightly better at steering while doing other stuff or reaching for other stuff, mostly. We didn't manage to do any overtaking on the dual carriageway because all the traffic was super far ahead, which was annoying. Didn't get any manoeuvres in because there was nowhere on the picked route that allowed for any manoeuvres. They say if that happens on test, then they'll drive you back to the test centre and they'll try and get you to do a manoeuvre in the test centre, like reverse into the test centre car park backwards or something. But on this occasion they didn't. Tony didn't throw me a manoeuvre to do. If it's any manoeuvre that I get wrong, it's probably going to be reverse bay parking or later stages of the parallel park and like how to correct things. But yeah, apart from a stressful start because of home bullshit that's going on, as you know, it was a pretty good day. Oh yeah, one last thing is a weakness that he brought up that he's noticed that it's like a habit that I do, which is when I'm on like the country national 60 roads, I sort of brake before I go into a bend. I like brake a lot in places where I could just know the bend's coming and just take my foot off the accelerator, stay in gear, and then kind of drift around the bend. You can't really do it on downhill because you pick up speed, but you can do it on flat or uphill approaches to a bend. And I have a habit of braking for the bend, maybe going down a gear and then going around the bend and then accelerating at the apex out of it. When he says it's a lot smoother if you just know the bend's coming up ahead, step off the accelerator on approach and just drift around it and then accelerate at the apex to get out. So that's something I can work on. That's a habit I can crush, I think. I can work on that. And leaving it later before you change gear, like if you're about to turn into a T-junction sort of thing, leaving it in the higher gear until it drifts down to a low speed and then changing to like first gear or something, or second gear. If you change early, like slightly too early even, there's a jolt. He says he doesn't like that, and he says some driving examiners will be finicky about it, and they'll say if you're a bit too jolty with the gears, then they'll end up giving you a ton of minors for it, whereas other examiners aren't as sensitive, as he put it. Luckily, Tony didn't get into any politics conversations today. We talked about like the moors and like what tours you can see and stuff on the way back, which is a lot better than talking politics. Anyway, driving test is the next one of these, or I might do a video just before it, like I did with the theory test, which is going to be like, before my driving test, what are my feelings towards it, sort of thing. But from this lesson, it is goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Get down! Here. Tiger, immediate.
Coming, 294.
00 is with me. We are being chased by gunmen. In black sedan. I'm heading south for Highway 2. Arrange usual reception, please.